All right, Salakia brothers, I found it. Revelations 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. And their enemies beheld them. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted, and gave glory to the power of heaven. All right, so, you know, this right here is talking about, the nuclear missiles, okay? But also, too, in the same scripture, all right, the 13th verse is also talking about how these states are numbered from 0 to 9, okay, which pretty much makes them 10 parts, all right, which America is broken into what, 10 FEMA regions, okay? So they already had plans, all right, and blueprints on how they're going to lock down people and surveil them and pretty much put them under what, more draconian measures, man. All right, before even the missiles take place and fly into the air, you know. So let's go back and listen to some of the to the video with Mike Adams. All right, let's see, let's go back.
Food supplies to be delivered only to the cities, not rural areas. You're going to see highway checkpoints put in place, bridges closed, ports closed, refineries closed down upon order of the federal government. And it's going to come down to which states say, no, we're not going to go along with your plan. We're not going to shut down everything. I mean, maybe the Biden regime will roll out another pandemic and use that as an excuse to shut things down. Maybe they'll fake some, Ebola patients with blood coming out of their eyeballs. And they'll say, oh my God, we all have to lock down or we're all going to die. I mean, there's no limit to the fear psyop campaign that they'll push. But the bottom line of what the Democrats want to do at this point in history is
which we believe that if they do it again, which they did it already, that whole 2020 deal, we believe that this would be like the last one, okay, which ultimately following suit, which would be the charagma, all right, being implemented, being pushed, okay, all right. They've been doing nothing but putting forth propaganda on cyber attacks, okay. You just had another bank that pretty much shut out like 1 million of their customers that got hit with a cyber attack, okay. So they're already getting people prepared in a fashion of springing forth that CBDC, central digital bank currency, okay, which anything that's what is it, what's the term, where it's centralized, they can control it, okay. Decentralized money, they can't control it, all right. So right now you have decentralized digital money, all right, and then even those that have made billions of dollars, they just end up winding up dead, okay, all right. I believe like 2012, could even gone before then, but from what I know, 2012, around that time, you had a lot of people that came up on like Bitcoin and things of that nature. They started springing forth, getting real wealthy off the whole platform change, But then over the years, these individuals started popping up dead. All right, why is that? All right, because hey, they got taken out. All right, these Edomites, they have plans to what? Ultimately control everybody, and how they're going to do it. They're going to do it through what? A system change, okay? Collapse the dollar, which we've been saying, collapse the dollar. They no longer need the dollar anymore. All right, change the currency, make everything digitalized, all right? And then when you look around your society, everything's going digital, All right, I believe over, I forget the numbers on Amazon, but brothers could probably look it up. They put a certain amount of robots in there, and then probably maybe over 100,000 people got removed, laid off from their jobs, all right, because of the robots. And then when you look around in your cities that you're in, people are doing what? Riding electric scooters, electric bikes. There's charging centers. You know what I'm saying? Where you can go plug up your new vehicle, your electric vehicle at. There's lots where they got electric trucks, okay? this is the move. This is the move that they're pushing, man. You know, so like Trump made a point. He said, with all these so-called illegal migrants that are coming up here, pretty much the North coming up here, you know, how can we surveil these people, all right? Because they're not in the system. Well, give them that Corona, all right? That's part of the plan. All right, so hey, we're seeing things unfold in front of our very eyes as we speak, man. All right, we don't got that much longer here, so let's just a little bit more. I want to get to Lord willing 32.
Is a mass extermination of all conservatives, violently, kinetically. This is what they want to do, and you can hear it in their rhetoric. They're not really keeping it a secret any longer. They're not pretending. They're openly saying that, hey, it's time for Joe Biden to assassinate Supreme Court justices, or it's time for Joe Biden to assassinate Trump. They're openly saying it. I saw a video last week of some left-wing, heavily tattooed communist guy saying that if Trump wins, there's going to be so much violence, people are going to die all across America. He said it was like a promise. I don't have that video handy or I would play it for you, but it's not hard to find videos like that. Leftists are, like, their true inner violence is coming out. These are the same people who claim to represent democracy and claimed that conservatives were a threat against democracy because conservatives tried to stage an insurrection on January 6th. But when these leftists don't get the election results that they want, what do? They stage an insurrection. They commit violence. They commit mass murder. They openly call for it. And of course, they're not censored by big tech platforms. YouTube happily keeps them on YouTube and Facebook and Google and all the tech platforms. No problem. If you're a leftist calling for murder, yeah, you're welcome on those platforms. But if you're a conservative calling for the rule of law, well, that's racist and you're censored. So that's where things are going. What this means is that conservative Americans, or even just anybody that wants to survive this, needs to be prepared for long-term outages. I'm talking about, food, months of food on hand. I'm talking about power grid outages, communication. Power grid outages, communications outages. That's what I'm talking about. Transportation, fuel. In fact, let me bring up, there's a book series that I'm just reminded of here that really describes this. The book is by Glenn Tate and is narrated by Kevin Pierce. And it's from a few years back, 2012. The book is called 299 Days. And it's a series. I think it's like 8 books, or what is it? 8, 10 books. Let's see. 10. Here it is. 10 books. I've listened to the whole series, I think, twice. And this series is set in the Pacific Northwest, where the radical left goes insane and sets up death camps and starts rounding up conservatives and exterminating them in the death camps. And that doesn't seem like fiction anymore, does it? This is what the left wants to do. And in this series, 299 Days, which starts off really slow, by the way, if you start book 1 and even all the way through book 3 and so on, it's really slow. Just have some patience, because once it picks up, it really gets moving. And it gives a very accurate description, I think, of where things are headed. But ultimately...
Alright, hold on, let me grab this real fast, okay? Because when they start rounding people up and forcing you, alright, to comply, ultimately, what are they going to try to do? What are they going to reveal to you? They're gonna make you take that mark. All right. Let's go to Revelation 13. We sound like a broken record, but this gotta constantly keep being on repeat. All right. Hey, Jake, as our people, man, they hard-headed, man. And they rather wait to the last second to see if things be true or not. But hey, that's the scripture saying, 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, that what these words are faithful and true. Fear not the incredulity of them that trouble thee, man. Alright, because these things will come to pass, as the Lord speed of the days, you know, and they're coming to pass fast, man. Alright, Revelation 13 and 14. Alright, I'm sorry, and 15. Salakia. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. At the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Okay? This is the point of them rounding you up for not being down with the whole system. For you not believing in their pseudoscience, alright? Their false way of life, their religions and things that they put forth, Alright, if you don't want to get down with what they're commanding you to do, alright, then it's death, alright? This is why ultimately you gotta turn back to the Lord through faith. Alright, because what? The Lord is what's going to keep us from the hour of temptation. Alright, the Lord said he's not unfaithful to forget our works and labor of love which we have shown towards his namesake. Alright, and if we be part of the Lord's elect, the Lord's going to give us the spirit to not fold during the time where they do take away your food, where they do take away your housing, the things that you need, okay, in order to what? Survive in society, pretty much. Alright? The Lord is going to be the one providing all these things, It says, verse 13, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, don't believe these other guys when they're talking about the mark of the beast is an embargo. It's sleeping with white women is Christianity. We already got the chip, you know what I'm saying? It's believing in Jesus. It's all that nonsense, all that bull, that BS. All right, cow doo-doo. Okay? No, man. All right, it's an actual micro implantation. All right, whether it's in the brain or, in your arm, your right or left index finger, whatever. Okay? It's an actual mark, which is the branding, all right? A mark that they give towards what? Their slaves, all right? Anytime that you want to identify and number your cattle, okay, you have to put a brand or a tag on them, Matter of fact, because a good word that can be substitute for the word mark, let me see if I could get it real fast. Bear with me for a second. A good word that could be substituted for mark, let me see, would be the word character. Okay, let me get the word real fast. Character. Okay, let's look up the word character in an online etymology. It says character, symbol, mark, or branded on the body, symbol or drawing used in sorcery. It says an alphabetic letter graphic symbol standing for a sound or syllable. It says caractère, feature character, modern French character, if I'm saying that correctly, from Latin character, from Greek character, engraved mark, also symbol or imprint on the soul, properly instrument for marking. Alright, from caracene, to engrave, point, stake, word of uncertain etymology with beaks, considering most probably pre-Greek. Alright, so meaning to what? Engrave. Alright, also from the word karax. Okay, matter of fact, let's go back. Alright, that's why it's important to look up these words, because it give you a better understanding. You look up the word mark. Let's get it, mark. I'm sorry, I put receive. Bear me for a second. The word mark, which is charagma, alright, which is a stamp and imprinted mark, or the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand of the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. Alright, there's many Antichrists. Those that don't believe in a Mashiach, Yahushua, alright? A lot of these Edomites are Antichrist, okay? Alright, the mark branded upon horses, things carved, sculpted, graven work. Alright, so, Esau changed up the definition over time, but nonetheless, we still have the proper understanding. Alright, the water to the apostles, elders of great millstone, man. Alright, charax, alright, which is one of the Greek words, a pale or stake, a palisade. Alright, what do you think they do with that needle? They gonna put that thing inside of it and put it inside your skin. Alright, they got all type of videos going through the internet right now that shows you how they have chipping parties. Alright, places that they're cash and contact. They got clubs that you can only go in there with no cash and then play digitally, Alright? And everything through gradualism has been going on through the society where we use digital money, but we getting to see how they're getting ready to push this thing instead of a debit card. it's gonna be that chippy chip, man. All right, and if you take that chip, Lord's gonna dip people in that fire. All right, that's what's gonna take place. All right, so you got the word rocks, all right, which is a stake or a palisade, you know, pretty much the hypodermic needle, you know, and then you got the word graphos, all right, to write with reference to the form of the letter, to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment, paper, or other material, to write with reference to the content of the writing, which, you know, ultimately information is signals being sent up and down, okay, which does it's like a digital a scribe. It's going to write down all your information, all right, everything that is about your person will be on your chip, man, you know, who you are, your straw man, all right, your criminal, your finances, you know, pretty much everything that you use in this society all in one, okay. All right, so like you know, Nick, I believe, who was it, Nick Rockefeller, you know, he pretty much said to Aaron Russo that, you know, hey, he wants to they want to chip everybody, man. All right, that's what's coming to this place. All right, Babylon the Great, man. You see, all right, and you know, when people are forced with their back against the wall, people comply, man. There's going to be a lot of Jakes, a lot of Israelites that know that the Israelites is going to what succumb to you know, the pressure, man. You know, it's why ultimately we have to what, trust on Yahweh Shema Shai, forsake this place. All right, forsaking this place, okay, just like just like our forefathers before Moses, you know, he lowered himself, all right, and you know, he thought about the riches to come, all right, which was more important than enjoying the moment, all right, which he could have been esteemed as Pharaoh's son, you know, the you know, because hey, he was raised by the you know, one of the women of Pharaoh, man, you know. All right, so Moses had a high position, but he didn't care about that high position. He'd rather be of a lowly man, thinking on the true riches that what Yahweh Ba'Shem Abishai can give at the end, man. All right, for what? Standing firm, man. You know, standing firm for a righteous cause. All right, because what? Through faith, you know that this place is out of here. You know. All right, and matter of fact, let me get one more. You know, because I don't want to ramble too much, man. Hold on, let me get one more that just came to my mind. You know, I think it's 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter. Let me see where we at in time. 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter. Oops, lock it. Let me see. Yep. 2 Corinthians 5:10, it says, for we must all appear before the judgment seat of a Mashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. All right. So taking that chip, all right, you're going to have to take an account of what you have done, man, because the Lord said don't take it, man. You know, all right, the ultimate judge is Yahweh Shai. What do you think he's going to judge you by? He's going to judge you by that nuclear fire, man. All right, says, knowing therefore the tale of the Lord, we persuade men. Our job is to just persuade you, to tell you, all right, to tell you that, hey, this is what it means, this is what's going on, this is what the Lord said not to do. If you do it, all right, this is what's going to happen to you, all right. It says, but we are made manifest unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, and I trust also are made manifest in your conscience. Okay, I think there's another one that I want to. It says, let me see. We look to the eternal. Okay, 2 Corinthians 4:18. Matter of fact, let me start at verse 17. It says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, all right, because we're going to catch hell here. We're going to experience these hard times, right? Working for us a far more exceeding eternal weight of glory, all right? It's all about the mindset of what, getting through it, all right, and trusting on the Lord that we are going to get through it. This is where faith comes in at, man. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. So the things that you see here, hey, it's all going to be gone in the end. You know what I'm saying? All this shit, there ain't going to be no pinpoint of knowing where, oh, this was L.A. Ain't going to be no pinpoint of knowing, oh, this was Chicago. Ain't going to be no pinpoint knowing that, oh, this was New York. You know? This was Maryland, all right. This was a great river right here. You know what I'm saying? That connect to the Mississippi. You know, you ain't gonna know where anything's at when the Lord send the missiles over here, because this land is going to be wholly desolate, all right. But we do have more promises to look forward to, all right, and we do have salvation to look forward to, okay, and that's only going to come via the way of what? Turning back to the Lord in these last days, all right. And that's through faith and grace, okay. So let's go back, which Lord willing that made sense, all right. Let's go back to this video and play some more. So I'm already at 17 minutes. I don't want to make this too long, so I try to keep it under 30.
Ultimately, in the book series, the pro-liberty, pro-America people defeat the radical leftist, communists. And the fight, I think a lot of the fight happens either in Portland or Seattle. But the good guys win. The good guys win in the end, and the radical leftists are defeated and ultimately killed in the battle, because it's a full-blown war. And I don't know what's happening to the rest of the country during this Pacific Northwest war, but the book is focused on the Pacific Northwest. So that's a source of information to take a look at if you want an idea of where this is going. Understand that your country, if you live in America, your country is about to become a battle zone. Just like the people who live in Ukraine found out that Ukraine became a war zone. And now look at all the cities and villages that are just completely bombed into oblivion. Some of that's going to happen in America. There are going to be battles raging across many different states as the radical left goes for an all-out attempted extermination of the American people that refuse to go along with radical left-wing communism. And remember, the federal government under Joe Biden is going to be weaponized against the American people. So you're going to have the foreign enemies, the radical left, Antifa-type groups, plus Joe Biden's federal government regime, all waging war against the American people at the same time. That's what's coming, and it's just a few months away. Most likely.
Which, we don't know. Just like this guy, he doesn't know the time when things are going to happen. Ultimately, it's of the Lord. It's of Yahweh Bashim Shai. That's why I say that these individuals, man, they don't have the spirit of the Lord. They don't know prophecy, man. That's why the scriptures say, matter of fact, let me just grab that real fast. I don't want to quote it. Let me grab that. All right, watch and pray. All right, this is Luke 21 and 34. It says, and take heed to yourself, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unaware. All right, because why we should be watching. All right, does not the scripture say that for this is an evil time? Be circumspect. All right, meaning that you got to keep your antennas up, man. And we ain't in a time of mirth, partying. You know what I'm saying? Israelite communities going out and having outreach programs, feeding the the homeless, and making it look like everything's all to the good. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that's all gimmicks, man. Things are evil outside, man. And pretty soon people gonna want to be inside somewhere safe, man. People ain't gonna want to be out in these streets, man. That's how bad things are gonna get. Okay. So it says, for as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. All right, because look at this. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel. All right, real fast. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, the 7th chapter. Let's see what Ezekiel prophesied about. All right, because this is going to take place in these times. All right, Ezekiel 7 and 14. They have blown the trumpet. This is what's going on now. Even to make all ready, but none go up to the battle. People think that these things ain't going to happen, Everything's going to just be life as usual, business as usual. Nah, it's going to be like a moment where I like to call it a Red Dawn effect. You watch that movie, one of the brothers, he just woke up on the couch, you know what I'm saying? And they was at war, And right then and there, you had to survive. You had to prepare yourself, All right, there wasn't really no moment for you to sit back and chill, it's your life is on the line, okay? But they know that Majority of people ain't gonna make it. All right, that's part of their plan for most people not to make it. All right, they know that there's over 330 something million people in America. All right, so that means they have to do a lot of extermination. Okay. For my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof, because ultimately the spirit of the Lord is going to be out here. Spirits created for vengeance. It's going to be an evil time, whether it's teeth of wild beasts. Whether people die in burning buildings, exploded buildings, gunfire, shortness of food, diseases. It's all going to be the wrath for Yahweh by Shema Shai, man. These going to be deadly serious times, man. On top of people getting sent out for war, It says the sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. But they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves, or the valleys, all of them mourning, every one for his iniquity. Because people going from the far, people going to be able to hear the cries and the screams that's going to go on in the inner cities. All right, and they're going to know that they never going to be able to go back. They ain't going to be going back into these cities. They ain't gonna be going back into no city. And then whether you survive and enter into the mountains, you escape. Like these movies show you, people hide in the mountains. Well, that's not the end neither, because you still got those missiles that's gonna fly over here. Ultimately the elect is going to survive those missiles. Because why? They're going to get beamed up into those chariots, man. It says verse 17, all hands shall be feeble and all knees shall be weak as water. A very scary time, man. It says even the righteous of the Lord shall be scarcely saved, man. That's how terrible it's going to be.
If we avoid this, we'll be lucky, because it's very clear that leftists do not want to avoid this, and they will start out with things like arson, setting fire to government buildings and setting fire to their own towns and so on. And
Oh man.
setting fire to government buildings and setting fire to their own towns and so on. And I suppose if these leftists want to burn down their own cities, well, that's just cause and effect. But they're going to try to cause so much chaos that Trump can't seize the reins of the federal government. And more of these left training in firearms and so on, although overall they're still not very good with firearms. And one of the main advantages for conservatives across America is that, conservative America is a gun culture. Hunting and sports shooting and tactical shooting, law enforcement, military veterans, SWAT teams, and so on. I know because I've trained with many of these people in Texas, and they're very, very competent. And it's going to be a big surprise to the left. You've heard the phrase F around and find out, or FAFO, I guess is what it is, FAFO, F around and find out. Well, leftists are going to F around in rural America, and they're going to find out. And they're going to find out that rural Americans can take care of themselves, and they can defend their property, they can defend their communities, they can work with local law enforcement and defend their towns, their roadways, their bridges, what have you. And so the radical left is going to ultimately, I believe, find itself utterly defeated. And it will be the end of the Democrat Party in America.
No, ultimately it's going to be the end of the Edomite reign over America and the world. Okay, let's just be real about it, all right? Because let's just get this real fast, all right? It don't matter if you got those that can band together, shoot, been training for years, fight against the government, things of that nature. That's all just part of the Lord's movie, all right? To have things chaotic, but these people ain't gonna survive. What's after that? Let's ask the question, what's after that? All right, what is it? Isaiah maybe 9. Oh, and 5. I'll praise the Yahweh Shema Shai. Isaiah 9 and 5. It says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise. All right, so yeah, and these times people use guns. They don't use swords. They don't use bow and arrows. They use guns. But it ain't gonna be just that type of warfare. We're talking about nuclear capability. All right. And these Russians, all right, Vladimir Putin, he's already pissed off at the West. I mean, they just got bombed in the Crimea area, and he had his ambassadors get on the phone and speak quick to the American ambassador, you know, those that speak on behalf of America to other countries, man, you know, and along the lines is do it again, and it's going to be the repercussion, all right? Because why? These other nations are speaking boldly against this place, and that's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, man, all right? Why? Because this thing is going to pop out. This thing is going to happen. These missiles will fly. Ain't nothing going to die down. Ain't nothing going to just be calm. No, right now it's calm, and it's a real eerie feeling, man. How calm it is, all right? Because we waiting for things to just boom. Oh snap! Breaking news, right? You know, it says rolled out. And garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. All right, now let's go to the book of real fast of Malachi, the 4th chapter. All right, Malachi, the 4th chapter. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. That means there ain't nobody going to survive here on the shores of America. If you're not part of the Lord's elect, you're not going to make it, man. You know, that's why the scriptures say what? Let me get this back in Isaiah, the 26th chapter. I'm going to end it right there because the point has been made. I believe it's 26 and 20. Isaiah 26 and 20. It says, come up, my people. All right, that's a possessive now, my people. All right, okay, which means that it's going to be the elect out of the Lord's people. All right, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Point blank, period. Okay, it says, enter thou into thy chambers and shut the doors about thee, hide thyself as it were for a little moment. All right, which means that the chariots are going to come with Yahweh Shai when those missiles get shot off, and they're going to what? Rescue. Okay, rescue the Lord's elect. That's what the word save means, to be rescued. Okay, until the indignation be overpassed. All right, so there's going to be men, there's going to be women that are going to be allotted to be saved. All right, and that's just how the Lord has the movie written. Okay, let's go to verse 21. It says, for behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. All right, so the Lord, when the Heavenly Father sends the Lord off the throne, he coming in the greatness of his glory. All right, and part of coming in the greatness of his glory is to what? Subdue all his enemies. All right, so that's also a part of World War III, man. You know, all right, so hey, these Edomites have Yahweh Shah to look forward to ultimately in the end. All right, and his elect and angels. So it's going to be a great battle and a great war. All right, the Lord is stirring things up. All right, and things are moving according to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. A prophecy is speaking. You know, so this is just a quick blowing the trumpet, which Lord willing it did edify and reach the Lord's elect. With that, I'm gonna say shalom.